All the guns you'll be seeing today are available on solware.co.uk, based in Tamworth. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's the big one. It's the best of our rifles up against the best of our bullpups. We have the Reximex Myth, who is the best of the bullpups, and we have the Kral Puncher Maxi. I always call it the Jumbo Maxi all the way through. It's the Puncher Maxi. So my apologies there for that one. Because this is our shoot off, I've made 5 rounds. There's going to be 5 different cards where they can score the top points they possibly can. There's no need to explain the cards, they're more or less self-explanatory. But the first card we've got up for a bullseye is 6 points, and anywhere around that is 5. So if you can bang a few bullseyes in, you can nick a few points here if you want in the first round. But that's easier said than done. And obviously they've got to be on point to do that. Now, running along with the rules that we've already had, none of these guns have had any practice shots. They've been put away in their bags and pulled out straight away to be used now. So nobody gets a preference, nobody gets any extra help. Obviously, same rules apply as when we've done the Battle League. If one of them seems to be a little bit wayward, we'll help it out a touch with a tuning on the scope. But besides that, it's everything as normal. The only reason it's 5 rounds in this is obviously because it's a shoot off and we want to see which is the best one, so more tests the better. But shall we get this started? Let's get underway. Okay, it's the bullpups to go first, and I've just realised that I've no magazine in there, so just excuse me a second. Magazine acquired, and it's a full one, so that'll help out today a little bit, save us having to keep reloading. Okay then, the idea of this target, as I say, 6 is the bullseye, and all around is 5. You can score a load of 5s. I would imagine both these guns will get in the 5s anyway, but if you do it that pellet hole size number 6, you get the bonus points. 5 shots each at these. Let's see how they go. Oh, that's only just clipped the 5. That's not a great start for the Myth, who, well, as you can see, I've only just pulled them out of the bag straight away. There's no pellets for this one. It does show you that I don't do no favouritism, but it does hold the game up just a slight bit. One had no magazine in at all, one had got no pellets in. Well, not a good start to this, but that first shot from the Myth there as well has got me quite worried, because he wasn't a little bit away, he was a fair bit away, so I'm hoping that that's not a factor of things to come, and he'll lose this by not really enjoying his break sat in his bag, which again is something that you want to know about these guns. Will they work straight out the bag if left for a while? But that first shot doesn't give us a lot of hope. Okay. Wow, lovely bullseye from the Puncher Maxi to start us off, gets himself 6 points. So, straight out the bag, the Maxi looks the gun. Bit better, that's a 5, but it's a lot closer to the bullseye than the first original shot. So it was just that first shot that's probably been stuck there a while. Pellet on pellet, another 6 for I think he wants to take this early on by the way he's shooting. He's not messing about. That's another 5. So 3 5s so far. Can he pull these pellet on pellet in that little 6 hole, which is only the size of a pellet as I said. That one's a 5, but he's already 2 points up from the first 2, so he's doing well. Just in again. He's been very lucky to get away with 5s, there he is. I think that's a 6, you know. So 3 6s and a 5, last shot each. And that's another 5, so he scores 35 points there, does the myth. I'm just going to have a look at that one. That could be 4 6s. Sorry, I just said that it was 35 points for the myth. It's 25, 5 5s there. So let me get that card in, I'll check and I'll get set up for round 2. After that first round it was 29 points, plays 25. The puncher Maxi did get a couple, 4 6s there and a 5, so he takes 29 points. So we go into our next round, which is the 5 small targets. Let's see how we get on with this. Just about a 10 for the myth. Oh, I'm not sure about that one. That could be a 9. Again, edging there, just on the edge of the 10, not great. But being as it's done 2 shots the same, I will give it a little bit of a hand with a few scope adjustments just to give it a second shot for the puncher Maxi. That one's in the 10, but again it's only just in, it's gone the opposite side this time. That one's a 10 again, but he's only just in again. He's treading very dangerously, but he might have pulled a point back this time because we're not sure if that first shot from the puncher Maxi is in or not. That one is, that one's a good shot. The 10 again. He's hitting the 10, but he's only just on the edge, so I'm having to acquire a little bit of help. there with an alteration, but it's a perfect shot. Well done. Wow, now we're on target with the Myth. I think the Myth got the full 100% in that round. I'm not so sure with the puncher Maxi. Well, that last one's a definite 10. Again, I'll get the cards in and I'll update the scores. Scores in the last round was a 50 and a 49, so 50 points there went to the Myth. He takes his points up to 75, and 49 to the puncher Maxi. He takes his scores up to 78, so 75 place 78. We're going to round 3, which is the black and white card. It's bigger segments in this one. 10 you can get the bullseye. Outside of that it's 9 and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 shots each at this card. Then we'll be into our final normal 2 cards, which are pellet on pellet in the coloured card, and we'll go to the rings for the final one to see who can take the big points. Right then, Myth first, left hand card. Here we go. That's a 10, just about in. Only just. That's a 10 and lovely well inside the lines there. That's a 10 and inside the lines, well done. Last shot, I think both of these will need a replenishment of pellets after this shot. Again, so 20 points each so far from this round. Right then, first we'll load up the Myth, who likes the RWS Superfield pellets, this one does, and has done well all along with them, to be fair. So obviously Reximex and Kral both using the 12 shot system in their 2 guns, and I think, if I'm calculating right, we'll just need 1 more reload each for the last shot, because there'll be 25 shots altogether. 2 reloads, 24. Okay, that's the Myth fed with pellets. Next shot. Just about in again, I think. He just seemed to still be veering off to that right hand side a touch, whereas in the last round he seemed okay. Ah yes, forgot. Puncher Maxi needs feeding. This gun's matched with the Hades pellets, and as you can see, to come through the rounds as he has, he's done really well with them. I do find these are a decent all-rounder, the Hades. I prefer them to the standard JSB, the Jumbo Exacts, to be fair. They just seem to have more accuracy in certain guns. Whether it's the little crisscross slit in the head of the dome, I do not know, but it's just what I find. They just seem to suit some guns better than others. Okay. Straight in the 10 again, no problem at all. Now then, this fella only just creeping inside that bullseye, so we'll give him another 2 10s. I think that's 6 or 7 altogether we've given him, and he's still not bang on yet. It's just still in, that is. He's scoring his 10s, but he's not where he should be. Yeah, 4 lovely bullseyes from the puncher Maxi. Just about in again for his last one, so he will get the full amount. That's 10 turns in there we've from, believe it or not. I never would have thought he'd have been that far out. Just making sure that the barrel's not being knocked over a slight touch, but no. Yeah, bangs at home for a perfect 50 each there, I think that is. I will check it just to make sure when I change the cards over to our colour cards, but looks like the full 50 each in that round. Yes, it was a 50 each in that round. 1-2-8 now. Sorry, 1-2-5 plays 1-2-8. 3 points still in the lead to the puncher Maxi. Standard card now, pellet on pellet. 10 points for a bullseye. Now, the myth needs to do better, doesn't it? But that's a great shot, and that's a 10 straight off the bat. Puncher Maxi takes a 10. Another nice 10 for the myth. These are a bit tighter 10 than the last card. If you'll notice, the circles are a little bit bigger. It's another good 10 to the puncher Maxi. Again, I'm fancying both to take the full 50 points in this one. It's going to be left into the big round of the rings, I think. Another good 10. The myth now all of a sudden coming to life and showing us how he won the bullpup edition of the league. Yeah, that's a good shot again. Yeah, it's a 10. Another good 10. Last shot each on this to see whether they can get the full amount without dropping points. Drops his 10 straight in there, no problem at all for the myth. house for both guns, both shot incredibly well. Set it up lovely for our final round the rings. There's 3 points in it. One miss shot, you're out, that's it. After that round, still 3 points in it. It's 175 plays 178. The puncher Maxi is still in the lead. It's our rings, 5 points for the top ones, 15 for the little one. So miss one of these, you'll lose the game. Hit them all, you're in with a shot here. So let's get the myth in first. He'll be in the red rings on the top. Let's see what he can do. Takes his first 5 points. Still seemingly, even though we've had a number of amount of turns on the scope, still seems a little bit to the right to me. Nice 5 points there for the puncher Maxi. Just about in the 5 again. I am going to go for 12 turns. See whether we can bring him back into it. The puncher Maxi however has been solid straight out the bag, needed no adjustment, no nothing. But to be fair, I have took the myth on permission. It could have had a knock in transit, and that's probably why it's slightly out. That's a shot. Wow, smack bang in the centre again. Puncher Maxi has been great. I think he's missed 2 shots out of the complete lot of this, which just shows you how incredibly accurate that gun is. Right at the end there, the myth puts one right in the centre, which does give us a little bit of hope. Well, both guns have done the big rings. It's the last one, so I know both guns will need replenishing for this. We had a count up, so who can hit the bonus and who can't? Or can both hit the bonus and the win goes to the puncher Maxi? Either way, the myth can't afford to miss. So gives me a chance to calm my breathing down, ready for this shot now. Who's your money on, ladies and gentlemen? I've got to admit, it seems like the puncher Maxi has been the class gun. To be quite honest, the only points he ever dropped in the rifle league was because he had a draw and he scored a 135, if you remember. I can't remember who it was against, may have been the Remington T-Rex, but yeah, here we go, the big 15 pointer. Wow, smack bang in the middle for the myth. So the pressure now switches over to the puncher Maxi. He will need topping up her pellets. So the myth there, although seemed to struggle straight out the bag, which I think it could have had a slight knock when it's been carried around in the car. Nothing major like, but enough to throw it off on a little bit of a wobbly to start with, but as I say, we never retune the guns, we never do anything with them. We want to know what they'll do straight out the bag. Anything that needs doing, we'll do it as we go along. But this gun has been a revelation today. As I say, it only dropped one shot in the second round. I think it wasn't dropped 1 point in the first. So, is this it to finish off today and take the title? Smack bang in the middle. I really didn't have any doubt. What a gun that is. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kral Arms Puncher Maxi has absolutely obliterated all before it. It's not lost the game all the way through, comes into the final, and I mean, that first card you can let it away with a point there, because as I say, it's a pellet hole. That number 6 is in that first card. It's only the size of a pellet and it missed one, so fair play to it. Don't forget as well, you've got to factor into it as well the idiot who's shooting it, so perhaps a decent shooter could have hit the full amount with that today, and I have no doubt of that. The Reximex myth dropped those shots early on when it was a little bit off target, but it never managed really to pull it back, or although giving its fair due as well, in the last 4 rounds I think it hit the maximum every time in the last 4 rounds. So again, classy gun really, the myth. It depends on what you want out of your gun. Obviously if you want something light to take around that's short, the bullpup is the one you would go for. If you want something to relax with and maybe a bit of target shooting and even pest control, if you've got a death grip or something like that with you, you're going to go with that Puncher Maxi, and you'd be well in your rights to. It's a fantastic gun. I mean, I can't fault it. I can't fault either of these guns, to be fair, that have got through to the final today. You can see they're classy operators. But we're going to have to end there, and we're going to award the champion of champions to the Kral Puncher Maxi, and well done. Did really well. Did really well. See you all. Bye bye now.